Hi, welcome into my channel. This channel is about astronomy, against the current view of the astronomy, against the distances of the stars, against the Big Bang, black holes, black matter, dark energy, and things like this. So I want to tell you that the stars are small and very close. But so I want to prove to you exactly in this video that's the case. So I cut from some video with Leonard Susskind. He's not saying something, but he's proving what the interviewer says to him. The interviewer says that in the middle of the each or all the galaxy or almost every galaxy there is a black hole.
Leonard, the concept of black holes is something that common people can talk about today. These very strange regions of very high, if not infinite density and curvature and residing in the center of many, if not all, galaxies. To a physicist, and you've studied black holes, why are they so important from a theoretical point of view?
Because they lead to a major puzzle. They lead to what I would call a conflict of principles.
So he says that in the middle of each galaxy there is a black hole. And I want to tell you what they did, why they did this. First of all, they say that these galaxies, they say that have a black hole in the middle and they are gravitational system. What they were saying that there is a black hole in the middle, although you see light you see clearly light and Hawking radiation could not be light, that you say that if a black hole emits light, visible light, what is to be a black hole? So what they did, why they did this to put a black hole in the middle of a galaxy. You see there they say that our galaxy has 1000 light years. So now they do not understand gravity. Believe me or not, Leonard Susskind is a very good in physics, in mathematics, but from formulas you can trick yourself. The formulas do not speak, I told you, but you have to have a philosophy beyond this, okay, to understand them, because the formulas are simple. And I saw him in many videos explaining relativity. Maybe I will make a video about relativity, connecting with Susskind in my next video. I will explain to you relativity. But you see, the formulas are this, and you must have a philosophy beyond them, okay? Because you do not understand them. You look at them, you do not understand them. So I believe that he knows to make some calculus, like vectorial calculus, tensor, like some vectors, okay, and derivate some functions, but he does not understand in a correct manner physics, okay. So he is proving, the interviewer, that it is not say yes, okay, but I could show to you from another physics professors and things like and guys from internet that pretended they know physics, that they say with words that there's a black hole in the middle of each galaxy.
Curvature and residing in the center of many, if not all, galaxies.
And I'm telling you that it could not be possible. So he's admitting, okay? I put for you another time. This is the way I make in my videos for you to understand.
Curvature and residing in the center of many, if not all, galaxies.
So he says that in the middle of the galaxy there is black holes, okay? And he's kind of proving. He doesn't say that no. And I'm telling you why they did this. You see, by saying that the galaxy has billions of stars, and they are believing that there is a game with masses. A bigger mass should stay in the center than the rest of the stars to gravitate. And now I am asking you, how big does something in the middle can be to be coherent, like a mass coherency, to keep billion trillions of stars to orbit. So, but now let me tell you more, more deeply way that this is wrong, okay? So they say that in a medium, like a galaxy has 1,000 light years, like from the middle, you see I wrote it, 100 light years, like this. This 100,000 light years. You see, 100,000 light years. But now you understand what Einstein says the spooky distance are distance. This is the real spooky distance connection at the distance. But you do not understand that gravity is a force by area, like a force that hits with mass of area, this rock. And Einstein, this is what the spooky action at the distance means. This galaxy have a spooky action at the distance. Why? You see, Einstein exactly this asked himself. This rock will fall. If it will fall 9.8 meters per second, 10 meters per second, 10 meters in a second, and another one by other mass, the same acceleration speed. And Einstein understood that there's a force or a kinetic energy or a force defined by space that decreases with distance. Then he asked himself what the speed of the connection between this rock and the Earth. It is something that Earth emits and hits this rock with a force. The bigger speed that we know of this current day is light. So it has 300,000 kilometers per second, or in miles, light has 238,000 miles per second. So what is the connection between the middle of the galaxy and the stars that are at the border? And you understand that if it is a light connect, this is spooky action at the distance. When you are judging a galaxy, you are believing that it could be the black hole in the middle of the galaxy, and somehow this gravitational wave to be emitted from the center of the galaxy and to be emitted 1,000 light years. But now comes the trick. If Einstein exactly as this asked, what's the speed of the connection between the Earth emission and this? Because somehow we do not know with the speed of light, the bigger this is the spooky action at the distance. The Earth, it is not with a spooky action at the distance hitting this with the force. It must be with a velocity. And the maximum velocity that we know at this hour is the speed of light. So this velocity must be a light speed velocity that hits with the force to make a force on area. But now in this case, at this guy that said each galaxy has a black hole at the middle. The spooky action of the distance multiplied. Why? It became totally weird. Why? You understand like this. So when the light is emitted from the middle of the galaxy, the middle of the galaxy that has 100,000 light years, let's say a medium diameter per galaxy, because they say that our galaxy is 100,000 light years. The gravity could not be a spooky action at the distance. According to Einstein, must have a speed. This is what he asked himself, and this is what relativity means. The speed is the speed of light, maximum speed. So now if it travels from the center of the galaxy, let's say there is a black hole or not, it must be emitted with a speed of light, and the light to come and the stars at the near border to maintain in orbit should take literally 100,000 light years. So now you have a function of time. You imagine that this force must be a heating force, a rotating circular force to be emitted from the center of the galaxy and to reach 100,000 light years. And now the galaxy itself sits in a temporal flux. So it's like the center of the galaxy is emitting gravity waves at a 100,000 light years span. and you know the dense intensity of the force because there's a force field by area. So it's emitted, and you understand that it has a relation, temporal relation, 100,000 light years. Like it has a relation in the present, with a near the center of the galaxy, then in the middle of the galaxy with 5,000 light years, and then you understand a spatial. This is spooky at the distance, my friends, and you are crazy to understand. Einstein, what he did, and he did not make the Leibniz equation. I've told you, these two rocks are hitting each other like this, and one gives to another kinetic energy or movement. Einstein equation is a kinetic energy or movement correlated by light. Let me tell you like this now. You see, when this rock hits this rock, this is to contradict the attraction gravity of the galaxies and the impact of the galaxies. You do not observe, this was made by Leibniz, okay, this equation, and you believe that Einstein, it is correlated with force, but kinetic energy 1.5 mass time velocity, Einstein is the kinetic energy of impact. I've told you in my previous videos. But now you must understand, again, the spooky action at the distance in this case is a hitting impact. And you are understanding that the kinetic energy is transfer instant, like in an instant. Because the change in the point of impact is instant. But now imagine two rocks like this with 100,000 light years, because they are saying that two galaxies collide. You have a problem now. What is the problem? The download of the information. What does this mean? Now, imagine smaller bodies, like imagine two rocks, but the diameter is a Earth-Moon distance. So two rocks and the diameter is from Earth to the Moon distance. It is 1 second with the speed of light. 300,000 I've told you like approximately 1 second with the speed of light. Earth Moon distance is 1 second, like 300,000 and something, bigger than 1 second with the speed of light. And now that you imagine two bodies like this, not like Earth dimension, a rock, but the dimension of the rock being from Earth to the Moon distance, and two rocks like this. And now you are thinking that they are impacting themselves. You see, when you treat this on the Earth, because the speed of light being very, very big, when they are hitting each other, they are giving themselves in an instant the kinetic energy. But when you have two rocks like the dimension from Earth, Moon rocks, you must treat now the speed of the giving of kinetic movement. So the front of if they will hit these two big rocks, the front will hit now, and when so there is a time of communicating the light energy or the kinetic movement, and it is a second, because you presuppose that it is a second. So now you take two vectors, a heating vector, normal vector like Newton, and a kinetic energy vector, and one that you do not compound anymore, you maintain it fixed, like c squared. So this will how you will understand why Einstein did. Now I've told you I will explain relativity. I began to explain to you what they are believing is false. You cannot presuppose a spooky action of giving of gravity between two rocks with the dimension Earth-Moon dimension. When they are colliding, like it's a tangential colliding on Earth, the light being very fast, you do not understand that this body, when they are colliding, they are communicating energy with some speed. But you do not treat because the speed of light is very fast here. But in the case of two rocks, the Earth-Moon rocks, when they are hitting, the back ends of the rock must come. So the information must be downloaded, if you understand from the internet terms. from one rock to another rock from the direction that they are impacting. So the speed of the transfer is 1 second with the speed of light. The body have one speed of the speed of light. So you must calculate the hitting horizon of the speed of light. What is this very... So in this way Einstein made the connection, transfer is the speed of light, and you can watch the equation, you can look at the equation there, he is treating kinetic energies of impact. So now if you have two galaxies like 1000 light years and another one 100,000 light years, when they are hitting each other, by the center of the black hole must communicate the force with the speed of light. See, 5,000 light years must be the connection. So the hitting of galaxies is an incoherent temporal flux. So what I'm telling you, that could not be, you cannot make a picture as the galaxies are small. There are stars inside our galaxy and they are small. Not even all points of light must be point light. The galaxies are inside our galaxy, put in clouds, that small bodies, and they are static. And they are static bodies. You cannot hit one body that is in a 1000 light years with another one with like 100,000 light years. This is a spooky physics. This is spooky action at distance. Not that you are believed with that gloves, that the glove that has this finger. This is spooky action at the distance. Because this rock, Newton says that it is hit with a force field to be brought down to the earth. And other main things that Einstein made there, how this field looks. If this curve, I will tell you maybe in another video or not, because a boomerang can make a circular motion in a straight field like this. So how is this field? This is a field. So I've told you that this is spooky action at the distance. Center of the galaxy acting in a 100,000 light year span, and I've told you already, you cannot make a picture. If we know only light, the galaxy will hit you like this, and if you have some let's say 1,000 light years in thickness of the galaxy, you cannot have you have many triangles that to put it to film it. So this is spooky action at a distance. And you must understand, I'm not against Leonard Susskind. This is the way I made my video. I'm saying like a tea science, coffee science. Always I have his, that's why something to drink, a coffee or a tea. This is a soluble coffee. And I'm not feeling myself straight. I'm not against Leonard Susskind. But you see, everybody says like this. Because they do not know how can you maintain a billion, quadrillion stars in an orbit and around the center.
Leonard, the concept of black holes is something that common people can talk about today, these very strange regions of very high, if not infinite density and curvature, and residing in the center of many, if not all, galaxies. To a physicist, and you've studied black holes, why are they so important from a theoretical point of view?
Because they lead to a major puzzle. They lead to what I would call a conflict of principles.
And how the mass bends a trillion ways, a galaxy, and how the sun bends for 7, 8 planets. If you understand that you have a relation between the sun and Pluto orbit, that is 6 billion kilometers, so 3.7 million miles. Okay, the Pluto. You must suppose that this is by mass density. This is the connection between every mass. So now you understand that the center of a galaxy could not reach 100,000 light years. So the galaxies are small. This is spooky physics at this distance, dudes. This is what you were inventing by not knowing. You were quick to say something and you falsify that Einstein bent his space. Einstein made you cannot this is what I've told you. The Sun and Pluto are at 3.7 billion miles, 6 billion kilometers. So if you treat by masses, this is, you understand what is the maximum distance that a mass can act. So now it can act through time. So now the center of the galaxy can act through time. Spooky action at the distance 100,000 light years from the middle. And I'm telling you, I show to you these galaxies. These galaxies are simply stars, by considering all that I've told you. And now let me show you some stars, a cumulus of stars, one near close to another. If you understand gravity is not attraction, and if you understand that the sun, if you are saying that the sun is keeping in orbit if you are saying that the sun keeps in orbit the Pluto planet like this, it must have 6 billion kilometers. So the sun has only 1 million diameter, radius or diameter, 1 million, okay? So now 1 million kilometers acts at 6 billion kilometers. You make this rate and you tell me why these stars are not acting in accordant proportion if they are like our sun. If they are 1 million kilometers span each stars, why they are not act like the sun acts on Pluto 6 billion kilometers? Why? And you do not understand that the sun does not keep the Pluto on orbit. It's a field that I've told you. Watch my previous video. And so these stars are small. If the gravity will attract, will collapse, and the gravity will have this power of the sun that will act at a 6 billion kilometers distance at the Earth Pluto distance. These stars will gravitate. They are static, and they are not gravitated around one to Earth another. And the distances between the stars are smaller than the stars themselves. Not even the Sun Pluto distance 6 billion kilometers, like in proportion, okay? So this is spooky action at the distance. The galaxies maintaining through a temporal flux 1,000 light years temporal. So I keep with my hands 100,000 light years from now, from the present. And this is, my friends, are crazy physics. And if you want to stay in an object that has 100,000 light years, you do not have a single point. You can make many triangles to put a camera, and you cannot observe them. So the galaxies are small, and you contradict me. You tell me, how can you make this spooky action at the distance at over 100,000 light years? The gravity to propagate the speed of light with 100,000 light years, and to have a force above the time, because from the middle of the galaxy must act now in the present at the back ends of the galaxy 100,000 light years away. So you are crazy, my friends, and I'm told you I'm not crazy. Our galaxy, how do you see clouds of hydrogen oxygen on the sky? There it is a sphere surrounded by clouds, and in the middle is partially void because there's a field, this field, force field, that is produced by this surface, cloud surface. And in this cloud surface there is a free energy, like a membrane, but made from pure energy, and a material, a clear material, so electromagnetic material, ANSI material, and a hard material, exactly from hydrogen oxygen. And the galaxies are like this, putting clouds there, and they are small stars. And I've told you, you have spooky action at the distance and you spooky all the planet at the distance. I'm telling you, I don't laugh of Susskind, but he's maintaining what everybody are maintaining, and from the equation you cannot you cannot find this, okay? And you cannot find this from the equation. The equation do not speak. And I saw him making calculus of vectors, derivative vectors, and that Einstein tensors. But you cannot deduce from mathematics what I've told you. You must understand. So the stars are closed. Goodbye. God bless. My coffee science. I'm not looking straight to the camera. I must think, but not even from this. But this is the way I like to. Maybe someday in the future I will look straight. Spooky action at a distance. Goodbye. God bless.